All right, so homework 6 is telling you to compare the means without doing any calculation. You could take this picture here and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s, a 7, a 10, 2 11s, and a 12, and I could add all that up and figure out what my mean is, but they want you to do it by doing the without doing the calculation. Want you to order them: the mean of A, the mean of B, the mean of C, the mean of D. Those little subscripts tell you which mean you're going to do. So we're going to put them in order from smallest to largest. So when I'm looking at the mean is the average. I start looking at the higher numbers first. If I have more higher numbers, my mean is going to be bigger, right? Oops, still trying to find homework 6 in that file. So it should be chapter 3. At the end of chapter 3 should be your homework pages. Yep, right there. Okay, so you need to jump by it already? Yep, of course it should be in that packet there. All right, so if I look at those, which one of them would have the biggest numbers? The most biggest numbers. That really good at English, evidently. A, B, C, or D? B, exactly. Because look at here, B has 2 12s, an 11 and a 10 on my this end, right? This one only has 1 12, that one only has 1 12, that one only has 1 12. So B is going to have the highest mean because it has the most numbers that are bigger than the rest. So I'm going to put that first. I like to do that one first. So B is. So now if I'm looking at the 3 that are left, which one now would have the most big numbers? The A would, right? On the A, we have a 12, 2 11s, and a 10. On these ones, we only have a 12, 2 11s, and no 10s, right? So A would be my next bigger one. I'm working my way backwards. So now I got to figure out on C and D. So these two things are the same, right? Then we have an 8 and a 7 on both of them, so that section's the same. And then this one has 3 5s, but this one has 4 5s. Well, 4 5s is going to be bigger than 3 5s, right? So the C is going to be the next biggest one, and the D is going to have my smallest mean. Okay? So, we look at number 2 again. It's going to have us do the same thing. We're just going to compare the means by looking at them and trying to decide. I like to go from biggest to smallest. You could go the other way if you really wanted to. But if I look at this one, which one here do you think would have the biggest mean? D is going to, because here we have a 12 and 11. Here we just have a 12, a 12, and a 12. So D would have the biggest mean because I have the biggest numbers there on my end. So we got D narrowed out. We did that one. Now if I go with the next bigger one. So if I look at my next bigger one, C. If I look here, they all have 2 9s. And so then if I look here, I've got a 6 and a 5. Here I just have a 6 but no 5. Here I have a 6 but no 5. So since this one has a 6 and a 5, that's going to be the next bigger one, right? Working my way down, the next one. Which one? A. So on A, I have a 4 and a 3, but here I have a 4 but no 3, so that's going to be bigger. And so, of course, last I'm going to have my B. So B, A, C, D would be the right order for those. All right. While I'm moving the board, think about the next one. Here we go. So on the next one, we have our 4 distributions. Which one is going to be the biggest one? C is going to be the biggest one. We have two 12s here. All the rest of them only have 1 12, so since that one has 2 12s, we know C is the biggest one. The next one would be the D. We have a 12 and 2 11s, 12 and 1 11, 12 and 1 11, so we know that 12 and 2 11s would be bigger. So D, and then the next one, B, and then of course the smallest one is going to end up being our A, right? So that's how we can compare the means without having to do any calculations. The bigger the numbers we have, the higher the mean or the average it will be.